Thank you, everybody.
I feel
Namaste.
highly honored in welcoming our next guest, who is a divine being with the values of love, compassion, peace, goodness, and cooperation towards humanity. He is Haji Sayyid Salman Chisty from Ajmer Sharif. He being the 26th generation of Gaddi Nashin heredity and custodian through his Chisty family, which has been engaged in serving at the globally famed, acknowledged and renowned center of peace and unity for the whole humanity. The blessed Dargah, Ajmer Sharif Sufi Shrine of the 11th century Sufi Grand Master Teacher Hazrat Khwaja Muinuddin Hassan Chishti, whose blessed shrine have been passed on to the present family from generations to generations for last 800 years. He has done his bachelor's in economics and commerce from Wilson College, University of Mumbai. His passion and deep longing towards the mystic world of Sufis and spiritual culture of the world has enabled him to travel across various Sufi destinations globally, where he has been regularly invited to speak and participate in international Sufi and intersocial conferences on spirituality, interfaith dialogues, importance of Sufi musical rendering in Chishti, Sufi order, Sufi art, Sufi poetry, Sufi literature, and represented the Chishti Sufi order in countries as diverse as Al-Hijaz, Arabian Peninsula, Egypt, Turkey, Morocco, United States of America, United Kingdoms, Bangladesh, etc. He has been heading the Chishti Foundation, Ajmer Sharif, as the managing trustee and chairman for last 10 years. He is also the founding member, along with other elders of the Chishti Sufi family. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and please welcome Haji Sayyid Salman Chishti from Ajmer Sharif.
Namaste, Salman ji. How are you? And so good to see you, inspired to see you. I think today in the world we are living, where acceptance towards each other is reducing, limited identities are increasing. The topic on which you are going to guide us, yoga for interfaith harmony, is going to be very valuable. Over to you.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Greeting of peace be upon all humanity, all creation. And it's an equally an honor and glad to see you, Dr. Vikas Tomar Sahab, smiling, shining, and sharing the wisdom from India to the world. Today, on an eve of the International Day of Yoga, which is going to be tomorrow, and 21st of June, that the whole world is celebrating all the way from last many, many years. Today, that we have come together with United Consciousness, and on a very important subject, as I was listening to the earlier deliberation, which was equally important about meditation, yoga, and healthcare. At the same time, when we look at the divided world, what are those philosophies, teachings, and practices which are uniting? Not from today, but from centuries. So, yoga for interfaith harmony, which is India's gift of union to the divided world. In the spirit and the teachings of Khaja Garib Nawaz, which is the place where we belong, Ajmer Sharif, where the message is. So the place that we come from is Ajmer Sharif, which have been so generously and so beautifully been portrayed and captured by the team of United Consciousness. I really love that video which you have compiled together. So congratulations and thanks to your beautiful team. Ajmer Sharif, where the teachings of love towards all and malice towards none, which resonated in the earlier session about the unconditional love, how it can be healing and it can be uplifting to those who seek with the heart and the soul. So we bring you greetings from the blessed thresholds of Ajmer Sharif, where over 800 years, hearts of every faith have come to breathe the same air of peace. On this International Day of Yoga, I wish to speak not as a teacher of posture, but as a fellow traveler of heart, and to say something simple that the whole world is slowly remembering, that the word yoga comes from yuj, to unite. Before it is exercise, before it is wellness, before it is even discipline, yoga is union of the heart, soul, mind, body, and the entire creation. The union of body with breath, of breath with mind, of the human beings with the source from which all of us came and to which all we will return. This is India's most precious gift to humanity, not as a possession to be guarded, but as a lamp to be shared. Yoga is a way of life, not merely a way to a good health. The world first came to yoga seeking the body, relief from pain, calmness, or a restless mind, strength and suppleness for tired limbs. And yoga gave all this generously. Science today confirmed what the rishis, yogis, and the mystics and the Sufis knew in silence, that the steadying of breath steadies the heart, that the disciplined body becomes a quiet home for the disciplined soul. But those who stay on the mat soon realize that yoga was never only about health. It is a way of life, a daily covenant of moderation, awareness, gratitude, patience, and service. It teaches us to live light upon the earth, gently with one another. In the age of drowning in noise and speed, yoga in India, whispering to the world, slow down, breathe and return to yourself, and you will find the divine within yourself. How far this gift has traveled is itself a miracle and a gift in our times. Across the Gulf, in the Middle East, in the United Arab Emirates, in Bahrain, in Kuwait, and even in Saudi Arabia, which is the very birthplace of Islamic spiritual traditions. Yoga today is practiced, taught, and loved by thousands, led by certified teachers and devoted practitioners, and honored by the government of India and its embassies as a true bridge between civilization. Let one name stand among many: Noof Marwai, Saudi Arabia's first certified yoga instructor and founder of the Arab Yoga Foundation, was conferred the Padma Shri in 2018, the first Arab citizen ever to receive the honor, for making yoga a recognized, respected practice in the kingdom. And she now leads the Saudi Yoga Committee. Here is the proof of a quiet truth, that yoga conflicts with no one's faith, because it asks nothing of belief and everything of sincerity. It does not enhance the faith, the practices that ones come from, but it develops and evolves, and it cleanses the practices that one is already engaged in, whether it is silent meditation, practices of faith, or prayers, or meditation in a community or congregation. A Muslim who breathes continuously is a better Muslim. A Christian who sits in silence prays more deeply. A Hindu who serves with awareness draws nearer to the divine. That is why yoga has become common language of well-being for all human family. For those who think this meeting of tradition is new, our own land remembers otherwise. Long before the word interfaith was coined, the Sufis of India and the yogis of the Nath Sampradaya sat together as seekers, not strangers. The Sufi Bhakti tradition which evolved in India has established the Sina Basina, heart-to-heart sharing and learning of practices, teachings, and silence with each community together. It is recounted in our shared heritage that Hazrat Baba Farid Ganj Shakar, the great Chisty saint of Punjab, met with the wandering yogis of his time, and they exchanged the secrets of breath. the yogis pranama, and the Sufis hafsidam, and the pass unfast meditative practices, the guarding of every breath is in remembrance of the beloved. As we say, har nafas bil zikr Allah, that every breath take us closer to the divine and the remembrance of God. Each recognize in the other a fellow climber of the same mountain by the different path. The disciplines of the disciples of Gorakhnath and the Nath Yogis Sampradaya, posture, breath, inner life, inner fire, the stilling of the mind, followed into the spiritual practices of the subcontinent and met the Sufi signs of zikr, muraqabah, contemplation, and silence. Bhakti, Sufi, and yogic streams have watered the same soil of India since the ancient past. From their meeting came not confusion, but compassion, unconditional love, and seva, service towards all. This is our civilizational inheritance, unity without uniformity, oneness that honor differences. For 20 years, by the grace of Khaja Gharib Nawaz, it has been our humble life works to carry this message of harmony across many continents and over 90 countries, to the United Nations, to the universities, to gatherings of every faith and every walk of life, so that the bridge that India has always been might be walked by the world. We have learned on every continent the same lesson the yogis and the Sufis learned through the teachings of Baba Farid, through the Nath Sampradaya, and the many yogis and the Shankaracharyas from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. That beneath are many names for the divine, the human heart beats with one longing. When we breathe together, we cannot hate together. The mat and the prayer yag, the Jai Namaz, the Musalla, or the prayer rug, the asana and the sajda, the om and the zikr are all the body's way of saying the soul one word: return. Return to where we belong. This is then is yoga for interfaith harmony, not a watering down of any tradition, but the discovery of the still point where all tradition touch together. In the world torn by walls, wars, and the challenges that we face today, as youth, as elders of coming from all ages, yoga offers a wordless peace that needs no translations. It heals the body so the heart may be free. It quietens the mind so the spirit may listen. And it unites the human family in the oldest truth India ever gave the world. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The world is one family, which resonates in the Quranic teachings of Al-Khalqu Ayalillah, that the whole creation is God's family. May every breath drawn on this day be a piece of prayers. May the health of the body will become the harmony of the soul. And may the union that yoga teaches us become the union for which our wounded world so deeply longs. Love towards all and malice towards none. The message is very clear. On this day that we go through the inner journey and connect with the inner net along with the vibrant artificial intelligence and the internet, that the world is now coming together, and as one family we can communicate, correspond, and even in silence we could be together from Mashriq to Maghrib, from east to the west. And we congratulate to all the office bearers of United Consciousness, and especially our dear respected Dr. Tomer, who has been relentlessly sharing this fire, sharing this light, and sharing that justuju, continuous continuous dissemination of teachings, whether it is in person or through the digital platform that has come to our way. As Khaja Garib Nawaz has says so beautifully 800 years ago, that if we want to be close to the Creator, be in service towards the creation and develop the three attributes of nature into your being. What are these three attributes of nature? As we learn while we are practicing our meditation, yoga, or even in silence. When we look at nature, sun like grace, सूरज जैसी शफकत, करुणा, दरिया जैसी सखावत, river like generosity, और जमीन जैसी खातिर तवाज़ो, earth like hospitality. So sun like grace, river like generosity, and earth like hospitality. If we develop these three attributes in our practices of prayer, meditation, faith, and even serving with unconditional love, then we will never make any differences or distinguish upon whom we are serving. We will never ask anybody's name, religion, nationality, language, region, or which part of the world they come from. We will serve them with unconditional love, the way of the sun, the river, and the earth. That's why Mother Earth, as we call it, with unconditional love, who makes no differences upon whom they are serving. And that's what the essence of yoga, which teaches us with unconditional love, whoever you are, whether you are from East, West, or the Middle East, wherever you are from, it is open for you to embrace the longing of the soul, to embrace the 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 nourishment of the soul, which uplift and elevates our spiritual consciousness, which when we are elevated to that maqam, that spiritual station where we see all as one, that's the highest platform on the pyramid of life. When we reach that pyramid, when we see no other, it's only our own reflection, our own beauty that resonates. Not only when we see with open eyes, but when we close our eyes. Because seeing is not only with open eyes, but also when we close our eyes, and that's when the real seeing happens within our heart, mind, and soul. So seeing without seeing, hearing without hearing, and the signs which comes to us from the divine, which elevate us to realize the consciousness within us, and that's the gift that yoga enable us, and the meditative practices give us. And that is where India has shared this wisdom from centuries with the world. And even today, when the divided world, yoga is here to unite. Practices of meditation from India are here as oneness. And that's what United Consciousness is sharing with the world today. Thank you, Dr. Tomar Saab, for this beautiful morning and the consciousness of heart. And really lovely to see you, although we see each other after days or weeks or maybe a year, but it really feels that yesterday we were together and today again we are together, and that's the spiritual friendship and unity bestow upon us. Thank you and gratitude. Namaste, Ek Onkar, Salam Alaikum, and Vasudeva Kutubum. Abhab, Satrikal, Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Haji Sayyid Salman Chisty ji. It's still in my heart the time we spent together at Ajmer Sharif Dargah, and we took blessings from there. And your message of love towards all and malice towards none is actually the message of yoga to the world. And as you mentioned, that Nath Sampradaya and Sufi Sampradaya, they had Sina Basina, heart to heart sharing, and which is the joint culture of this nation and the message of this country to the world. As you said, whole creation is the God's family, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. We take this message from you about the working on the inner net and be in the service of the creation, from like taking sun like grace, river like generosity, earth like hospitality, and seeing without seeing, hearing without hearing, and love for all. Thank you very much for always inspiring and honoring us with your presence, Honorable Haji Sayyid Salman Chishti ji. Thank you very much.
Shukriya, bahut bahut dua, and all the best for the next sessions and the next continued week. That has been, only you can do this, bringing people from all the world together for the entire world to world. So more power to you and more blessing to you and the family. Keep growing, keep smiling, keep sharing, and we see you very soon.